Back in my place.
Strong.
Yeah.
It's a strong game by Hackett tonight. How important was his performance for tonight's win?
Well, he was, you always want your goalie to be the best player on the ice, and he was excellent when we needed him for sure tonight. I thought our D did a good job in front of him, limiting their chances, and I thought there was a huge difference just in his tracking tonight, and his rebound control was excellent, so that was a big part of the win tonight.
Utica had their chances, but again, just great save by Hackett, and you guys didn't give up as many shots as well.
Yeah, I thought a lot of their sustained opportunities either came, when we got a 4-goal lead, or when they had those back-to-back power plays in the second period. That obviously gave them a lot of momentum, and they probably got 8, 9, 10 shots from that time. Now, I thought, again, we did a good job on the kill where we kept the shots managed, both where our goaltender could see him, and we took care of second chances pretty well. But yeah, I thought we did a good job of managing their shots. And then, getting the lead like that, I think obviously plays into the fact that we still got to be a team that shoots the puck a lot more. I think that when they registered 21 shots tonight, a lot of them were early, and once we score, we sometimes turn into the Harlem Globetrotters, and we want to do the most difficult play on the ice when Kevin Saunders scores from the corner. We want guys to take that lead and throw pucks at the net a little bit more. So, but we're building. It's a good step for us tonight.
Why does Luke seem to be a different player?
It's two things. It's his battle level. How much does he have the puck and nobody can get it from him? And then two is he plays in front of the other team's net. And if he does those two things, he's going to go back to being the player that he was before. I thought, there was a time here when he made his game more difficult on himself than he needed to. A lot of it was mental, but he seems to be in the right place right now, and he's playing the best hockey he's played in the 2 years that we've had him, for sure.
He seems much more relaxed. There's just something about him even off the ice where he just seems to be happy and content and confident. I'm not sure what it is.
I think you're absolutely right. I think he's not seeing maybe being here as a demotion, rather an opportunity. An opportunity to prove what he is as a player, what he can be as a player, and that he can get back to where he was. And for me, he's been our best forward easily in the first 2 games. It's just his competitive nature's taken off. He's not feeling sorry for himself. He's winning all of his battles, and he plays in front of the other team's net. If you play there, you're going to score goals, especially if you're playing with good players.
Did this start with him maybe toward the end of last year? I know that he was one of the only scorers and started to kind of put him in more of a leadership role as well. I mean, is it kind of carrying over from there, or is it completely kind of a new thing this year?
Well, I think it's carrying over a little bit, and I think that's part of this league, and that's part of the maturation process. He's still 24 years old. He's still a kid, and he's still trying to figure out what he's going to be as a player for his career. And you can go through a lot of things like he has, and he's been through the ups and downs, and how you handle those things is where your career is going to end up. So I think he's dealing with things a lot better now, and he's focused on just wherever he's at, he's going to be a really good player there. And thankfully, right now, that's for us.
Your thoughts on the end of game stuff?
I'm really bothered with the way that it ended. I didn't. I briefly looked at Viega's hit on Jacobs, and I'll have to look at it again. But it didn't necessarily look like a dirty hit. It was what happened after that, where what happened on the ice wasn't taken care of, for one, and two, a player's fighting without his jersey on a player who just got hurt, and that's Bush. That's Bush League, and I'm glad we played him 9 times more.
Was Jacobs caught on the hit or in the fight?
He was caught in the fight.
How is he now?
He's fine. I think he's going to be fine. But obviously he's got to go be evaluated by the doctors and make sure he's okay.
No stitches or anything?
I have no idea.
The hit, did he hit his head on the boards or face?
When I looked at it briefly, it looked like he was turning when Viega came across the line, and I think it was more, it just kind of dazed him when he hit the wall and then went down, and then he's obviously in the middle of a fracas there, and he's just holding on, and then all of a sudden a guy with no jersey on is throwing punches, and the game's got to be managed better than that.
Well, the linesmen were very much at fault.
Yes.
They're not supposed to leave the original.
No question. And they blamed it on our players. Well, their job is to protect the players. And you've got a player that's hurt out there. You got to protect them.
Wasn't just Hackett tonight. Obviously, the defense has stepped up every week, so they obviously worked on some things during the week.
Well, yeah, we worked on a lot. I think it was just a simplification of our game where, we know how we need to play. And I keep going back to the fact that, it's the first night, we've got some new players. We had a lot of guys that wanted to make a really good impression, and we're probably trying to do too much last week. And then, I thought Matty McKenzie coming in the lineup, he's a breath of fresh air. It's on his tape, it's off his tape. He plays hard defense. He's going to compete, keeps the game simple, and that's what your goaltenders want. It's guys that are going to keep the game simple in front of them. So I thought as a unit they did a great job tonight.
Selzer is obviously the main guy right now. Who would be next, do you think?
I'm sorry, for
call-up.
It depends what they need. If they're looking for a power play guy, I think I'll have to watch the tape, but I thought, McNabb had a pretty good game tonight. Maybe the biggest hit of the game was when the linesman ran into him in front of the bench. But I thought Ruido was a lot better tonight. He looked a lot more calm and relaxed out there. He kept the game in front of him. He wasn't forcing it. They'll have some good choices to make. I thought Wagner was really good again tonight. He competes every inch of the ice surface. So there was a lot of good play out there tonight.
Shaler seems to bring a lot, especially on the penalty kill. He's big, seems to work really hard. I really liked his game tonight. What did you think?
I really liked his game early. I thought he played with a lot of energy, and I actually just talked to him. And you know how you get your first game and you're amped up and you're winning your battles and you're moving your feet, and I think there was a little bit of a adrenaline letdown. And he said he felt a little heavy in his legs after that. And that's going to happen his first game, but I will tell you this, he competes really hard. He's in the right spots. He knows how to play the game, and he's going to be a guy that you can put some different roles. So we were really happy the way he played. I think he's got a pretty decent skill level. Now it's just building that consistency.
And on the play that turned into the Sunder goal, he lost the puck, which, probably shouldn't have done, but then didn't give up on it, came right back, got it back. So, that seems to me, that kind of like evidence of how he plays, just kind of a never give up player.
If you talk to guys that have coached him, that's exactly the player he is. He won defensive forward in hockey East last year for a reason. He has the ability to hunt pucks. He competes hard on the puck, and then he's going to be responsible in his own end. And you got, obviously it's his first pro game, so he's got a long way to go. But we were encouraged by what he brought tonight.
Not like last week where you had a week off, but you have a game tomorrow night in Syracuse, so their home opener, so they're going to be fired up. So you're going to have to counter that now.
Yeah, and you know what? They didn't play tonight, and I think that's good for us that we've got a game under our belt now, and we get our first opportunity to get out on the road as a team and kind of establish ourselves there. It's a much faster ice surface in Syracuse, so I know the guys really like playing there. It was a pretty sloppy game out there tonight. Things are a lot quicker and they're going to happen a lot faster tomorrow night with their skill level and the ice surface. So we've got to be ready for that. I think it'll be good for us. So.
Are you worried that Lucano will be distracted by the Tigers playing tomorrow night? And that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's not fun.